now that you have your business analysis in place and you know what is critical to the business, and then you know your likelihood and your risk that stands between you and the vulnerabilities, then you need to have a risk response. And those risk response could differ um, to any types of different ways. So I'm gonna go through the ways I have them listed out here. You got risk mitigation, risk deterrent, avoidance, transference, or acceptance. So starting back off with risk mitigation, this is where you can you see the risk, and we're gonna put some kind of tool in place to mitigate the actual impact of the risk. So think about your antivirus, where we can't stop all the viruses that are out there, but we can put this tool in place to lessen the blow if we were to be attacked by a virus. Um, Risk deterrence is kind of like a block or a to actually deter someone from actually attacking. So a simple way of thinking that about that is just kind of like having a fence around your building, but then having barbed wire around the fence at the top. So it lets you know that hey, you can still come in over the fence, that's fine, but you're gonna have a tough time climbing over the barbed wire that's at the top. Then you have avoidance, where this is kind of like where we see the risk and the risk is too high, so we're gonna avoid moving in that direction altogether. If the risk is too high, and the only way we thought about going into that direction of let's say this new business venture, but if it's too high, then we might want to avoid that venture altogether, and therefore avoiding the risk. And then you have risk transfer. So risk transfer is kind of like accepting the risk, but if any damage is done, you can fall back on another company. So think about it as in insurance. So you have technical insurance where um, if any kind of damage comes to you, or not to you, but to your equipment, then you can fall back onto an insurance company to replace the equipment. Now, it won't necessarily replace the data that you may have lost on your equipment, but they will be able, if you got a flood, then the risk was the flood, it flooded your data center, you can fall back on the insurance company to pay back for that new data center that you're going to get. And then you have acceptance, and that's pretty much cut and dry. You know that the risk exists, and you know that you're willing to accept the risk, and that's also kind of going into your risk appetite. So your risk appetite will gauge how much you're willing to accept. Okay.